do I want? Oh yeah, that looks good.
Wait, what?
Cool as a cucumber. Oopsies. Today, we are crime maxing. This is the city of Hevero from upcoming game NTE, and I specifically want to talk about how this city is a character in itself, and thank you to NTE for sponsoring this video. Mint? Who needs that when you've got this? A gigantic urban sprawl of a city that seems to never end. In a good way. We've got Canada, the tower, magical girl drone light shows, and this guy. The city feels like it was built for the people that live here and pay rent, like a place that can exist without the player. At a certain point while playing this game, I ended up dumping my Mr. Bean car. Yes, I'm not joking, this is literally a Mr. Bean reference. And just found myself stopping and staring at parts of the environment that are simply existing, wanting to walk, go through and look at every corner of the city. A rooftop, an alleyway, a road marking that didn't need to be here, but is anyway. Excuse me, NTE? Why can't I sit on the pig? Please explain yourselves. And slowly I realized this city is quite literally crafting a narrative. It's doing all the heavy lifting for its design and infrastructure. Today, I want us to go on a tour of Hevero and explore why it feels so convincing, as well as its connections to real-life urban design, and how its attention to architectural and infrastructural detail helps it to feel alive. Okay, no, but quite literally, the city has this whole thing with these supernatural creatures called anomalies, and they can take the form of inanimate objects. So I'm not even joking, like the whole city could be alive. Even this girl mentions it.
Do you think it's possible that we're actually sitting on one huge, giant, enormous anomaly?
See, I'm not crazy.
Crazy? I was crazy once.
It's a city designed around constraints. Limited space, dense population, and, need I say it, layers. I swear we can't go one video without you mentioning layers, B. Buildings physically encroaching on other buildings, twisting paths and roads. The city doesn't expand out, but up. And this is the kind of urban design you see in cities with a very long history, but that also had to grow fast and adapt quickly. Oh, hold on one sec. I've just got to park up. Wait, no. I did not come in at the right angle. Hold on. Reverse. Yeah? There we go. Oh, now I'm not straight. Hold on. Let me just nudge a little bit. Yeah. Perfect. Places where infrastructure wasn't planned all in one go. So we end up with a space that feels compact, busy, and slightly inconvenient because it's constantly negotiating with itself. We see this in plenty of dense megacities where residential blocks, transit lines, and commercial areas all overlap. Hevero is split into multiple districts, each one being distinct, especially through shifts in density, architecture, and function. The first district we enter in-game is Bridge Crossing, the historic heart of Old Town, where two mighty sea-spanning bridges meet. This bridge actually brings to mind the bridge in Chongqing, or perhaps it could also be inspired by the Rainbow Bridge. It's the most affordable area and has the highest livability ratings, as well as being on the more quirky side with unique shops and plenty of hidden lanes. Bridge Crossing feels more like a downtown, slowed down vibe. It has elevated walkways, intersecting routes, and layered movement. Labubu?
I have the one and only.
Retaining its narrow back alleys, traditional houses, izakayas, and other retro stores. If we head down Hankaku Street, we can see it consists of a lot of mid-rise buildings, tightly packed, but there are still traditional wooden houses interspersed. Certainly the most iconic shop down this street is Budoria, which is, wouldn't you guess it, an izakaya. And the thing with NTE is you can actually just walk straight into the accessible buildings, making transitions even more seamless, as though you really are in the city. And that's a giant octopus. That face. It haunts my nightmares. Ooh, that's enough food for me for one day. Hello, little buddy. Oh my god, you can pet the dogs. This is not a drill. I must say too, the amount of anime references is super cool. Unheard Shores is another district nearby, which is much more open and nature oriented, an escape from the city within the city, and you can even go camping. I think a very cool part of Hevero is how you can see its history beneath the modernization. Once we cross the bridge, we enter the New Herland district, where high-rise buildings become the norm. As we explore more of it, we can see how the roads are influenced by the past. The New Herland district now is where the biggest names in business call home. Hevero Hevero's glittering crown jewel, a wealth-soaked hub that draws the elite, the ambitious, and the ultra-rich. New Herland is in stark contrast to Bridge Crossing, defined by tall buildings, clean lines, and a rather restrained overall design. New Herland communicates power through control. Everything in this space and architecture feels deliberate. They even have their own Shibuya crossing. I can feel my boss asking me to turn on my screen in the Zoom call too. It's a lot more cyberpunk and a lot less unique and personal, although you can visit the cinema, so it gets points for that. Speaking of business, you can find the offices of the prominent companies in Hevero, names such as 24, Clicky, and this kind of made me wonder, what is the business situation like here? So I had a look around pretty much every prominent area that's lined with shops and noticed a few things. 24, the convenience store, is pretty much everywhere. Like every corner you turn, you're bound to run into one, which might just be the most realistic thing about this city. Clicky is the fast food chain that you can find everywhere too. Speaking of Clicky, I also found one of their delivery guys. Buddy, I don't think they're answering their door. Certain shops will actually have different items on the menu, depending on the district, like this bakery chain. And if we head further afield to the more suburban towns, they might even be lucky enough to have independent stores still, like this newly opened tofu shop. The Miguel district is the tourist and shopping hotspot, situated along a river. Take a leisurely stroll under the iconic Hevero Sky Tower, or dive headfirst into the bustling Noetic Bridge shopping scene. And as we head past the last bastion of the city, across this stunning railway crossing that functions with the train's movements, we end up at the green belt of the city, which I am absolutely in love with. So let's take a look. In many games, rooftops are never really given much thought. I know you're probably sitting there like, where are you even going with this be? Well, in NTE, the roofs actually make a lot of sense. Look at this. Water tanks, ventilation systems, exposed pipes that are connected to them, and feed into the houses. These are no mere decorations. They actually serve a purpose and reflect real building practices where rooftops often host important systems due to limited space. These details are here to make the buildings feel more believable. The streets of Hevero are by far the most impressive detail in the entire city, especially here, exactly because they're so low-key. Just look at how many tiny paths and other small details there are in this residential area. There are visual cues everywhere, subtle speed humps, shared pedestrian space, signage, delivery boxes, electronics, drainage, bikes, and how nature is a lot more overgrown in these areas. Even drainage grates are placed logically, particularly on slopes. Why am I thinking about drainage in a video game? There even seems to be a small unnamed curry shop for locals down this random back street, also parking lots. This last section is called Cool Details I Love About Hevero City. The sheer amount of different posters and advertising, the pet shops that have cute pet doors. I also found flyers like these that I think are showing planning for a new build. You can become an Uber driver and deliver orders yourself. The delivery company's branding is literally a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Get it? Because turtles are meant to be slow. The bus stops actually have different numbers and colours depending where you are in the city. Traffic moves according to the lights, and they even stop at zebra crossings if you stand there. You can also ride the train from one end of the city to another. Herland Station seems to act as the centre and continues along a platform above ground. Paths have parking for bikes and tactile paving, and signs indicating different actions and areas, such as this one for the crossing or this one for a speed limit, and one for no trumpets allowed? They have actual farms. Just ignore that. The NPCs have so many different animations and interactions.
Hungry? Come to Click.
Yeah, I am hungry actually. NPCs get out their umbrellas or run and cover their heads if it starts raining and put them away when the sun comes out. And vending machines selling tomatoes?
Too much. Can you put more in your pockets? Pockets full too.
All of the food looks so good. I also came across this TP that looked like it could have at one point in time been a shrine. None of these details are loud, and that's kind of the point. They didn't need to put these in the game for it to function, but it does change how the city feels. Hevero has so much to it that makes it make sense. Every pipe, road marking, and building suggests a city that exists outside of the player. Now, I personally, after having seen and explored through every crevice of this game, game. I'm super excited for its release this year, and if you're interested too, make sure to pre-register using my link in the description. For now though, I'm gonna partake in my favourite pastime, sitting